Hi folks, Tim here from High End Cheap Tech again. Tonight we're going to be talking about kind of a different subject, but it's still cheap tech. Uh, if you ever looked at the description below, right down there, and there will be links to all this stuff in that description below, by the way, um, you'll notice we list our website as tabletserver.com, which is a site I created a number of years back and originally hosted literally on a tablet. This was the second site I had created, different domain, and for a long time it ran on my Chewy HiBook tablet. Yes, a web server running on a tablet in Windows 10 inside of a virtual machine. I'll talk about that and how you can do that, and then I'll also point you out a great host that I use for where the website currently is, and it looks identical to how it was for like $5.95 a month. 20 gigs of storage, unlimited bandwidth, up to 3 domains. So let's get to that right now. Let's go to that intro. Cue it up there, intro boy. Hello again, folks. Tim here. I'm back after that harrowing experience with the intro. As I alluded to in the intro, I have run a website literally from home on a Chewy HiBook. That's where Tablet Server ran for a year and a half. It no longer does, and it tells you right here. This site is now on a Linux server. That link will be in the description below. Pretty easy, but the first way we ran this thing was right here. It's called VMware Workstation. A link to download that will be in the description below. You can play with a ton of settings. This thing has Debian 8, all kinds. It's still sitting here on the machine using up 36 gig. We had roughly 5.3 gigabytes set aside. Tells you your processors, how much hard disk space we're using. The network adapter was bridged. In other words, you're using the normal network adapter, and then it gets bridged over to a separate, it gets its own MAC address, and then you have to learn how to do routing and all that stuff. Now this is if you want to run off cable from home, and you have to have a router. You have to have a cable company that at least allows you loopback. Loopback means, okay, I could be sitting in here on Windows 10, and I would occasionally move the server over here, and then I would upload something through the admin panel, which would go to the HiBook. Or the HI-12, I moved them around. One might need charging, so we'd move it from one to the other. They generally run 8 to 12 hours. The HiBook did not run nearly as long as the HI-12, so when I got home, I'd move it to the HI-12, let it run all damn night. Hopefully not post anything. It's way more complicated than you think, but your hosting costs are $0. you're hosting it on your own machine. You run your backups from that machine. And you use a program called WordPress. Go to wordpress.org. I'll link it in the description below. And then, of course, we're running, the VMware Player. Now, this is an older version, but relatively simple. When you wanted to use it, you hit play virtual machine. That was it. Boom. Linux was on. You had your IP address. All you did is go to your DNS settings from whoever your DNS provider was. And I was always using Change IP for DNS because I bought the domain from them, so I had DNS, hosting. So I was able to just insert the new IP. But in all technicality, that only was important if I moved it over to the Zotac. Between the two tablets, they both came in through the cable IP and got routed by the router, the Wi-Fi router. Well, everyone had assigned IP addresses, so I just switched where the port was for a web server from one to the other. Bam! We're up and running. No need to go anywhere. This is very cool if you are willing to learn, download, install software. You get the VMware workstation right here. That link is in the description below. You can get the LAMP, which stands for Linux, Apache, MySQL, and Postfix, which is a mail server kind of thing. All in one. They do have a WordPress app on their site. It's just the LAMP stack is better. You can configure the whole thing. You can add multiple servers. You can do anything you could do. You're going to be running Linux. You're going to have a program called WebMin. Very cool. It's extremely easy to use. Adminer will allow you to create database info, generate your new database, and then you just install WordPress, which you get by going to this wonderful site here called WordPress.org, and it's a free content management system. You can do all kinds of crap for WordPress. You can lay it out any way you want, set it up any way you want. If you go back here to the old tablet server, I got 1, 2, 3 columns. I've got tons of plugins that show ads that do the little scrolly thing. In addition to that, we have, the ability to change this whole theme, your background. The runny nose and cough are back. The cold weather. Great. That sucks. All right. So, all that being said, there is a second way to do things. And that, of course, is to go to a place called changeip.com, which I would still go to get your domain hosting. It's like $15 here or something like that. And they give you your DNS. So you can host it at home, host it with them. But if you go here to their web hosting, You can get shared Linux hosting, which is what I use, $5.95 a month. The link will be in the description below. Please use the link in the description below, because if you sign up, I save a month's, hosting fee. That'd be cool. And of course, you can post anything you want once your website's up. But it's up to you. 20 gig of web space is enough to run an enormously large website. They're not like YouTube where you're sucking down the bandwidth, of the stuff you store. On the other hand, on the other level, when I was talking about, hosting on a VM on your own machine, that worked really well on my Zotac. But right now, even if I were to get cable in here, because I edit everything on the Zotac, and I have 8 gig of RAM, which is totally adequate as I use it now. But if you turn on a web server, sucking down 5.3 gig of the RAM, that leaves me 2.7. That's enough to run Windows. It ain't enough to run OpenShot in a reasonable time period. The processing would take hours, literally. So, if you got a spare PC though, or a little mini PC, and you don't need anything hotshot, you just need something that can handle running Linux, you can probably get away with like 3 gig of RAM. Like I said, I was running multiple servers at one point. Hence the reason I've used up like 27 gig on that one server. There are literally like 7 different websites still on that old VM, some of which I, no longer deal with. So it's up to you. It's pretty simple. It's two choices, but you probably want to have, a website somewhere so you can throw your videos up, and sometimes you're going to want to have a little bit better explanation of, like my last video, I kind of told people how I came to the conclusion, that it would be a dual video about reviewers I trust and, why I like the Lapbook SE. Either way, it's cheap tech. You don't need a $200 a month host. And unless you're getting, when you start getting 1 million hits, well, you won't care. You can leave it there. But if you're getting 8 to 10 hits a day, I can see all mine. The most I've had in any 1 hour period today is 2. Not a whole lot. I might get 10, 15 hits a day. That's it. Some days I might get 30. It depends on what I posted. It's like anything else on the web. It gets hammered by the, the bots and everything else. It gets checked. And that's how it works. So I'm going to leave it at that and say thanks for watching. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, post them in the comments below. If there wasn't something I didn't explain clearly, ask and I will answer. Trust me, I actually do check those comments. Probably not as often as I should, but that's because no one ever leaves any. And a thumbs up would be super cool. Just a thumbs up. Or a thumbs down. Either way. If you offer a thumbs down, I certainly would appreciate a why. I'm open for constructive criticism. Let me make that very clear, and I'll say it again. Constructive criticism, not you're ignorant, you're stupid. That's not the right way to go. That isn't constructive. Tell me a better way to go. Explain why you think so. That's what comments are for. That's all. I'll have a great Saturday.